Hey, good afternoon. Every time I post a video or a picture, it's always followed by a series of questions of what bumper is that, how did you do this, how did you run that. So I thought I'd just do a quick overview of the mods that I've done on the Blue Hussy and put that out there. It's not a comparison of this product or that product. I only have experience with what I've used and the decisions that I used in purchasing those particular products.
All right, let's start out up front. I wanted more protection than what the Polaris factory bumper provided. I wanted some protection on the corners, out around the headlights. I went with Vendetta. I just like the styling of it. I like the look of it. It's very heavy built. It had great reviews at the time. So my choice was Vendetta. There's a lot of other ones out there. I just really happen to like the looks of the Vendetta bumper.
Rock sliders, tree kickers, a lot of people call them different things. To me, these are truly both. A lot of tree kickers are merely a bar that comes out, back in, obviously to deflect the trees out around from your rear tire. The Vendettas, this is a solid steel plate all the way up here that comes down and wraps about a ½ an inch underneath. So if you drop your front tire off a rock, it does hit the metal and slide off and stays off of the plastic underbelly, in addition to the bar that comes out and would kick trees out around your rear tire. So to me, these are truly rock sliders and tree kickers.
Seat belts, harnesses. I didn't particularly care for the factory seat belts, plus I wanted the added security of harnesses, but I like the retractability. So I went with Click 6 harnesses. The Click 6s obviously are not designed for the general. My solution to that is we fab the bar in off of the cage, it bends, comes out, runs all the way across the back to the cage on the other side. We then put the mounting tabs for the Click 6s off the bottom of that bar. The Click 6 harnesses, the retractable part of it has to sit up and down in order to make the locking mechanism work. I was not comfortable welding to this cross brace. It's not quite as thick a metal as the cage is. My concern was that the welds could potentially pull loose with it being a thinner metal. So this was my solution. The Click 6 harnesses are very comfortable, work terrific. We've ridden the entire Alpine loop with them. They're great for all-day comfort. While we're on the interior, I did switch out to an Salt Industries steering wheel. I like the looks of it. I like the feel of it. It's much more comfortable than the factory wheel. Part of my reasoning for doing that is I did want the quick detach. Like as I mentioned earlier, when we were riding the Alpine loop, we stayed in the cabin. So my machine's gonna be parked outside the cabin at night. Just was a little added security to be able to pop the steering wheel off. I have taken off a few of the interior panels, paint matched them to the outside just to bring a little color to the inside. I did switch out the shifter handle merely for the look. Again, added some blue inside of it, kind of personalize it a little bit. Whip lights. I went with 5150s. There's a lot of different ones out there, inexpensive, too expensive. I think lighting is a place where you kind of get what you pay for. So I went with 5150s. I really like them so far. I use Dragonfire Mounts, which is a direct cage mount. The only modification I've actually done to them is this was a 90-degree bracket where I bent it so the whip's angled back. I wanted whips as long as I could get, yet try to keep them underneath the top of the cab as much as possible, just so they weren't hanging up on stuff. So these are 3-foot whips angled back. They stick up maybe 2 or 3 inches higher than the cab. It's been a really good setup for me. While we're back here, I've had a lot of questions about this. Basically, we took 1-inch square tubing and welded up a rectangular bracket that then attaches to 4 lock and ride whip mounts, and that's what holds it all down to the bed. When I drilled the bottom of the rigid boxes, I cut O-rings to go under the bolts to keep the boxes waterproof, and then mount the two boxes on it. It gives you a lot of storage. All my trail gear and everything's in those top two boxes. Still leaves the entire bed open for storage for other stuff, coolers, whatever you want to carry. Bed still tilts, has no effect whatsoever on that. On the subject of lights, I am a big fan of rigid. I know there's a lot of good lights out there on the market. Again, I think lighting is a spot where you spend a little more money. You kind of get what you pay for. These are a set in the DDS series of lights. They have 4 forward-facing LEDs, but then they additionally have the side-facing LEDs. They shoot out at approximately a 45-degree angle. I mounted them up here on the cage because it puts that angled light out right in front of the door. So when you're trail riding at night, you easily see trees as you're turning and stuff. Originally, they were mounted on double mirror brackets. BFAB then come out with these terrific brackets that's a combination for your mirror and your light. They keep the light in nice and tight, but it also still enables you to clear your tip out windshield if you're running a tip out windshield. Great product, really like them. While we're here, we'll just quickly touch on mirrors. Seismic mirrors, they're not the cheapest mirror on the market, but they do have a excellent warranty. You break the mirror, no questions asked, they'll replace it. One of these caps comes off, you lose it, no questions asked, they replace it. Rock lights. I went with the standard one color light following the blue theme. I didn't want to mess with the Wi-Fi or Bluetooth off my phone to rock lights. I was good with the one color. I have them mounted directly above all 4 tires. Additionally, there is one in the grill and then one on each side in these vent lights. I didn't want to be able to look into the vent and see the light itself directly. I used a foil tape inside to make it reflective, then mounted the light down low, shining up in here. They do a great job of reflecting out and really put the light out of those. Cab lights, they're just an inexpensive bullet type light. Drilled holes, mounted them through there, run down to a ignition hot, so they come on when you turn the ignition on. Windshields, I knew right off the bat that I wanted glass. It's nothing against the poly stuff. I just simply did not want to be concerned whenever I'm cleaning it. If I'm scratching it or if I'm not, I felt like the glass would last longer. It is the tip out Polaris. This is a 20 model at the time. I'm not sure. I know there's some things out there now that weren't available in 20 when I bought this, but I've had no issues, no leakage, no problems with the locking mechanism. The rear is also glass, Polaris lock and ride. Again, absolutely no issues whatsoever. Hood decal was actually a birthday present, the vinyl creator. The star on the roof is painted. I had concerns of whether I could get a decal to actually stick on the roof or not, so I actually painted it on there. I do have one additional set of rigid lights on the front bumper. They are a backlit rigid. When you turn the key on, they backlight in a blue color. Real good lights. I like them as well. I think that's most of the bolt-on, add-on type accessories that I've done so far. Got some other mods planned in the future, some performance stuff, tuned clutch kits, some things like that. We'll post some videos on that when we get that far. If you got any questions or comments, I'll do the best I can to answer with my limited knowledge so far. I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you.